So what is the purpose of an interview? Especially, for example, if you're applying to grad school or a job, you already wrote your cover letter or statement of intent. They already know why you want to, have that job or position. They already know what you've done in the past because you submitted your CV or resume. So what is the purpose of an interview? So from both a admissions recruiter perspective and also from a hiring manager perspective, the point of an interview is for me to meet you in person, whether it be virtual or in person. And the point of me meeting you in person is for me to kind of suss out what is your personality like. Of course, if you're going for a job at an organization, that particular team is going to have a pre-existing culture. So I want to make sure that the person that I'm hiring into a new role or position is going to fit in well with my team. I don't want someone that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. I don't want someone that's going to cause chaotic and drama on the team. I want to make sure as much as possible that this person is going to jive well with the rest of the team members, especially if there's already a pre-existing culture. From a grad school perspective, again, our students and our cohorts and our faculty is probably going to have a pre-existing culture again. So I want to make sure that the person coming in isn't going to, cause chaotic and drama, and that they're going to fit in well and that they're actually going to enjoy their time too. I don't want to be hiring someone or giving an admission to a student where I know they're gonna hate their time in the next 2-3 years. I want to find the best value for both ends. So that's one of the things that I look at. The second thing that we look at during the interview process is we want to see whether or not what you wrote in your CV and resume is accurate. It's very easy for someone to lie on their application, but when you're actually asking the person questions about a particular job or experience, unless you're a very, very good liar in general, this is where things will start to unravel very quickly. If you did do what you said you did, you're going to be very confident in your answers. You're going to be able to answer any of her questions easily. But if it is a lie, then you can definitely tell because the person will have difficulties explaining what they did, for example. So it is a good way during the interview process for us to also assess whether or not what you wrote in your application is accurate. Another thing that we look at is red flags. And what do I mean for red flags? So there may be some times that the personality is very different than what we imagine. So that may be a red flag. And in terms of, bad personalities, I'm really referring to someone who is quite narcissistic. For example, these are normally people that I wouldn't want to hire or be in my in the program. So these are things that, again, in the in-person interview, through chatting with the person, you get to find out very quickly. And another thing that we look at is your confidence level. Of course, any interviewer is going to know the interviewee is going to be nervous. So if you start stuttering or you seem nervous, that's totally okay because for the most part, most applicants are going to be nervous. But we want to see if you're able to hold a conversation, if you're not if you have a lot of social anxiety to the point where you can't even look at the person in the eye, those kind of extreme circumstances, again, will really come out in the interview process, and we want to see who you really are in person. And again, we do recognize and acknowledge that most people aren't their true self during an interview because of the nervous bugs. But in general, it gives us a good enough idea of what the person is in person. And then finally, we also take it as an opportunity for you to interview us, right? We know a lot about you. You wrote a letter to us explaining why you want to be there. We know what you did in the past. We already know a lot about yourself, but we also give the interview as an opportunity for you to ask us questions because obviously on the flip side, you don't really know much about us. You probably know what we do as a team or organization or a grad program, but you might have some pointed questions, or you might also want to suss out, what our personalities are like to determine whether or not you even want to be here. So also take this as an opportunity, if you are at the interview process, to ask people questions. Don't shy away from asking questions. This is often, you only probably get 1 or 2 interviews during the process. So take that as an opportunity, take advantage of that to actually, really ask those questions you want before deciding whether you or not you want to go to a particular place. So all in all, the purpose of an interview, I would say, is really to suss out the applicant personality, to assess whether or not what they wrote in the application is what they did, or if it's a lie. And it's also another opportunity for the interviewee to ask the interviewers questions. And you should definitely see an interview process as a two-way interview. It's definitely not a place where you'll be just answering questions and we're asking. Definitely see it as a place where we're both asking each other questions and that we're both going to be interviewed at the same time.